Ever since playing Dark Souls back on the Xbox 360, trying out Dark Souls 2, and immediately going back to playing Dark Souls 1, I have been a big fan of Dark Souls, and by extension, some of the FromSoft games. I don't like a lot of them for many different reasons, but this isn't about the FromSoft games we already have, this is about the next game from the studio, with that game being Elden Ring. A game that I've been looking forward to ever since it was revealed. And now that we have a nice chunk of gameplay to look into, it is much clearer how the full game will be like. I am still a little worried that the game's open world will feel very empty on repeat playthroughs, as I am not the biggest fan of open world games for the whole huge map, not a lot of meaningful content problem a lot of them seem to fall into. But this is not about the game's open world. Kinda. It's about what I think will be in the game, whether it be boss archetypes, areas, or even gameplay features. I have a lot in mind that I think will happen. So in the spirit of speculation, here is a video all about my predictions so that when the whole game comes out, we can all have a look back on this video and either laugh at my ideas or revel in how smart I am. So let's get to the first topic. Mounts. We already know that we will get to ride a funny horse in this one. But what if there are more mounts than just horse? So I bring up water thing. Whether it be a turtle, shark, dolphin, $40 whale, I don't think it's too crazy to eventually obtain a water creature to be able to explore the ocean as we see fit. We've even seen an island off the coast of the area available in the network test with no way to get there, so it only makes sense to be able to eventually get a mount capable of water travel. But if we have access to water, I think it's safe to assume that we'll have even more water-related things to do, including a pirate ship-looking thing that is visible on one of the mini-maps that we've seen at this point. What we will do on this pirate ship, who knows? But it'll probably be either really neat or viciously infuriating, as is the case with most From Software things. Although just a pirate ship is thinking too inside the box. Imagine you're out on the ocean in the middle of nowhere, just mindlessly swimming towards an island or a large mass, and then suddenly, you hear some boss music starting up. Start seeing tentacles right of the ocean. Octopus boss. Oh shoot, it's hitting you with 8 different arms as you're panicking. How great does that sound? Well, it sounds pretty horrifying considering I have an immense fear of the ocean, but who cares? Octopus boss would be epic. And being a water boss doesn't just stop at octopus. You could have shark, squid, whale, you name it. You could even have a moment where you're swimming to an island just for it to reveal itself as a giant turtle. I'd love to see giant turtle boss. And then imagine you beat one of these water boss, unlocking an Atlantis type area. I feel like out of all my ideas, this one is one of the ones that have the highest likelihood of being in the game. But what if it didn't stop at water mounts? What if after beating maybe an underwater, I don't know, dragon guy, we unlock the bird mount, allowing us to not only take to water, but to the skies as well. We could have aerial bosses, or even a flying island, or... Well, actually, I feel like a lot of the things that I mentioned during the water section would also be applied here. So to not repeat myself, just imagine I said the same things as I said during the water part, but replace all water words with air words, and let's move on to the next topic. I've already mentioned water and air bosses, so let's go over some general boss ideas that I think would be cool. First, there is this weird giant axe robot guy in the network test that is just there. So there's a decent chance that we'll get to fight other giant robot guys, maybe even including an extra giant axe robot guy? Huh? And while we're on the topic of giant things, I bet at one point there'll be like a giant plateau or a long section of land, and then it starts rising up from the ground, revealing a really big boss. There's even a good chance that this boss could be the robot boss, or even potentially a final boss. Or like Lord Soul equivalent, I guess, but that would be a lot more lame. But also, why stop here? Instead of giant piece of land, giant castle. You see where I'm going with this? Giant castle boss that lets you explore it after you beat it. Or heck, even let you explore it as you are in the process of beating it. That'd be so rad. It's like the one part from Kingdom Hearts 2, I think, where you fight Oogie Boogie as he is giant castle mode. It'd be cool. But big bosses aside, we already know of this sort of summon mechanic where you summon little helper gremlins to aid against enemies. But what if there was a boss that could also summon little helper gremlins? Then you and the boss could have a helper gremlin fight. This fight would either be extremely easy or really, really annoying. But I like a good FromSoft gimmick fight every now and then. So gremlin fight would be a funny change of pace. The final boss idea I have, well, not like an idea for the final boss, it's like the final boss idea, not final boss idea, you know? Anyways, the final boss idea I have is a large dragon. And I'm not talking normal dragon. I'm not talking about that one lightning dragon, not even talking about a big dragon. I'm talking biggest dragon. That's about it. The dragon bosses in these games usually play out the same, but this boss would be like even more big. Yeah. Alright, next section time. There are things that we can always count on being in a FromSoft title, like patches, Moonlight Greatsword, Catacombs, Spider something or other, Swamp, Poison Place. Or considering this game is open world, I wouldn't be surprised if we got those last two things on top of the combination Poison Swamp, so we don't need to talk in depth about all those. The thing I want to bring up is how in Elden Ring, there is just the giant crab from Dark Souls 3 in the game. Like, same moveset, model, size, same everything. So that got me thinking, what other random enemies will be copy-pasted into this game? There are many to choose from, like Dark Knights, clams, funny zombie guys, clams, but the enemy I'm putting my bets on is the weird lion spider guy that you fight in that one random square room and at the front door of the Anor Londo Cathedral. Like, there's no reason for the lion spider to be in Elden Ring, although there isn't a reason the giant crab is there either. I could also just mention every weird one-off Dark Souls enemy, like the weird flat thing found in Darkroot Place that there's only one of, but I have high hopes for Weird Spider Lion to once again be in some weird random spot in Elden Ring. Now, the Spider Lion prediction is pretty out there, but I have another that is even farther out there. My last and most outlandish prediction is that there will be a castle. A castle full of, get this, normal people. A castle where you fight normal people with normal weapons with a boss fight against a person slightly stronger than the average person. No werewolves, no infected dudes, no spiders, no poison monsters, no goop monsters, no vampires, no jellies, no gems! Just a castle, normal people, and that's somehow the most crazy thing I've mentioned in this video. Like, the odds of this prediction becoming true is pretty much impossible. So impossible that this is a good cap to this video all about the things that may or may not be present in Elden Ring. So the only thing to do now is to wait for the game to come out, and then leave a comment on all the things I got wrong. Or right, but we shall see. Also subscribe.